Are you ready? Did you light the candle? Okay, let's start the ritual. Welcome to Intuitively Wild, the podcast. I'm your host, Rachel. This is a space where truth gets its voice back because shame loses its power when we speak to it. Here, we don't skip the hard parts. We sit with them and we learn to hold ourselves inside them. This podcast is ritual in audio form, a way for us to bring intention and intuition back into our everyday. Let's dig into our roots and go deep. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Intuitively Wild, the podcast, and welcome to our monthly ritual of sitting down to create a ceremony for a specific moment, time, celebration on the wheel of the year. And this one feels extra special because it's our first ceremony of 2026, our first moment on the wheel of the year for 2026, and it is for Imbolc. And for those who don't know, Imbolc is the moment in between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. And it always feels like an interesting moment for me. This is one of the trickiest moments on the wheel of the year for me because it still feels like the dead of winter. February can feel like a very challenging month for many of us, especially those of us who live in colder climates or places that get cold in the winter, because February feels cold. It really feels like we are still in winter. And as I record this, I am recording it a little bit early, but we're getting very, very cold weather. There's snow outside. It's dark. It really does feel like winter. And it feels like it's getting to that point where winter is really wearing us thin. And Imbolc is the sign that spring is coming and that hope is around the corner, but we're not quite really actually feeling it yet or necessarily seeing that proof or that evidence. And well, first of all, I want to say, for those who are watching this over the video, I'm recording this in the morning. The sun is just starting to rise, and I'm recording it by candlelight. I have my beeswax taper candles, which makes this feel extra ceremonial for me. And I don't know what it is about these solos. I just really love recording them in the morning, but and it's making it feel extra dark and wintry. And so that's why Imbolc feels challenging, because we're like, where is the proof that spring is coming? But Imbolc is acknowledging the beginning of the ending of winter. So even though there's that challenge of not seeing the proof all the time, it is reigniting this hope for what is to come. It is restoking a fire inside us that has threatened to burn out during the winter and telling us something's coming. The tides are turning. This is going to be, change is coming, and you can look forward to that. Winter, especially this one, which felt extra cold and dark, really forces us to take that full exhale, to let everything go and let everything out and shed. It brings us into our depths, into death, into darkness, and it drags up all of our internal world is a garden. It really drags up all the dirt and the debris and really causes everything to be cleared out. And then we enter this in between, this waiting room, this pause, which is Imbolc, this moment where the garden bed's been cleared, but we can't yet plant the new seeds. Imbolc is that moment before we plant the new seeds. And we are being reminded to be in that moment. We're being reminded that we did that deep, dark work in winter, and the hope of spring is here and it is coming. And if you can look outside, you can start to see some proof. Nature, I guess depending on where you are, but I am, even in the snow, I am seeing the proof that nature is beginning to make her transition. There are some buds beginning to break through the earth, and there are some new birds starting to sing and make themselves known, and the sun is feeling a little bit more like springtime sun versus wintertime sun, a little bit different warmth, but we are still needing that reminder of hope. We are still feeling immersed and enveloped in the cocoon of darkness, and we should. Imbolc isn't that time to break free and come out like the spring equinox is, but it is that reminder that there is hope. There is that spring around the corner. Because winter is very still much wintering. We are very still much in that deep darkness, that cocoon. But in the midst, we see the truth. And Imbolc is that marker that winter will end and we are making it through. And spring is coming. And this is where we see what winter revealed for us, who winter formed us to become, and how the depths of winter and the death of winter brought out this soft strength within us. And whether we see or feel signs of spring approaching or not, this is a moment to mark the passage of time. This is a moment to celebrate the renewal of Earth, to acknowledge the perfection of our seasons and of nature's cycles, and to really bow down to Mother Nature and how she revives us and sparks our souls just when we thought we couldn't keep going any longer. Just when we thought winter was gonna break us to our knees, we have this moment on the wheel of the year that is like, no, it's coming to an end. Spring is coming, there is hope. And as we celebrate this moment in the year, we make space for more abundance and growth and nourishment and vitality to pour through for when the sun finally makes its way to full peak and when that light crosses our path finally, when spring finally comes. And by celebrating Imbolc, we are celebrating Mother Earth, we are celebrating our strength, we are maintaining our hope, we are keeping that inner fire alive, and we are preparing new seeds to be planted. I have found, just as equally as Imbolc is an interesting, challenging ceremony for me to celebrate, I have found it to be one of the most important because winter is so challenging for me. Imbolc gives me that hope. It gives me something to celebrate when I'm feeling like I can't get through winter. It brings spring into winter, it brings the hope of spring into the depths of our darkness. And this ceremony is to help the preparation process. It's to help us prepare for spring, it's to help reignite our hope, and it's to help us get through the end of winter. So, as always, these ceremonies are choose your own adventure and are here for you to follow your own intuition throughout the guide. You can do all of the rituals that make up this ceremony. You can do them all at once as a full ceremony as I'll kind of move through them. Or you can pick 1 or 2 or 5 that you do on their own or weave into your day until the spring equinox. They can become part of your daily rituals. See what calls to you, see what comes naturally, see what feels like it really suits you and serves your life. I will be doing the ceremony in full and then continuing daily with different rituals that really stick and settle into my bones and feel right for me. So, as always, we begin on our ceremony with an opening intention. And this can be anything. I honestly usually see what feels right for me in the moment and follow my intuition. I do always open my circle by welcoming in all the 5 directions and the above and below and between. So I've written this out in other places, but I will say something along the lines of air to the east, I welcome you and I'm ready to receive your guidance. And I take a deep breath in and out. And I'll say fire to the south, I welcome you in and I am open to your guidance. Water to the west, I welcome you in and I am open to your guidance. Or earth to the north, I welcome you in and I'm open to your guidance. Guides, gods, ancestors, benevolent ones above, I welcome you in and I am open to your guidance. Spirits below, well and willing and able, I welcome you in and I'm open to your guidance. the guidance and wisdom of my own intuition and inner knowing, my heart, my inner compass, I welcome you in and I'm open to your guidance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm ready and open to receive. I stay present and connected to the messages and knowings I need to hear. Please guide me on my path forward. The circle is now open and the ceremony can begin. So once you've stated an opening such as that, it can be as simple as I'm ready to begin my ceremony, or I'm open to what comes my way, or I'm here to be present. It can be whatever you want it to be. Then I will set up my altar. Sometimes I'll have it set up already before I open the ceremony, but often I like to have my altar pieces ready and next to me, and then I open the circle. And then as part of the ceremony, I set this altar up, but do what feels right for you. So I will go through the 5 elements and our altar suggestions. So we start with earth. When you reflect on the lessons and themes that have unraveled for you this winter season, what comes up for you? What seeds are you preparing to plant when spring and summer come? What physical seeds can you acquire to represent these desires and intentions? Trust your intuition and what comes up for you around this. Find these seeds or even draw them and place them on your altar. And sit with them in meditation ritually in order to connect to the preparation process Imbolc is moving us through. So for example, I might do this ritual anew, but from what I've connected to so far, I will have sunflower seeds on my altar to represent a vision that came to me in a meditation around going out into the world and connecting to the sunshine and different energies that sunflower seeds bring up for me. And sunflowers are my favorite flower. And so I have acquired those seeds. I will sit with them in meditation. I have them on my altar. And when spring starts to come and I'm ready, I will plant those seeds. To be quite honest, I'm not good yet at gardening. Often people think I'm really good at planting and growing plants, but really I'm not. I know what to do once they're dried. That's when the herbalist in me comes out, but I don't yet know what to do beforehand. But I want to improve that. So this spring I might work on that, and right now I'm getting that preparation ready, but really I'm feeling into the energy of plants and what they bring up for me. So that's our earth element. And again, if you can't acquire the plant that comes to you, you can draw it out, you can print out a picture of it, anything that feels right for you that you have accessible to you, but then place it on your altar and to connect to that energy and what that message was for you and what that is calling you towards for springtime and to sit with right now. Now we have our air element. So air. This is a time to make sure we are fully prepared and open, ready to receive and plant and embody the new seeds when springtime comes. So choose an incense that represents purification or clarification or cleansing to you. For example, like sage or frankincense or myrrh or lavender. It's important to make sure you source from a reliable place. I have some places linked on another Substack, and you can always reach out to me and ask, but there are so many places online. Even Etsy has a lot of really reliable sources for you to get your incense. And then follow what you feel called to, and for the next few days, begin a ritual of lighting the incense and just watching the smoke. So in this ceremony, set up your incense, light it, and just watch the smoke for a little, even while you sit with your seeds in your hand and meditate, watch the smoke and just see what messages come to you. Smoke holds a lot of energy, and there's a ritual that I practice where I light a candle or light incense and I just watch the flame or I watch the smoke. And if you just really sit with that, you might be surprised what comes to you. And next we'll move into our water element. So Find a natural water source near you, perhaps a river or a lake, stream, ocean, even snow or an icicle. For me, there's still so much snow outside, and so I will be taking a spoonful of snow and placing it in a bowl. And I love to do this in a clear crystal bowl, but whatever bowl feels sacred to you, you do want to kind of have a special bowl that you're going to place on your altar. So find a fresh water source, place it in a special bowl, and place it on your altar. And place your hands over it and repeat your intention 13 times. If 13 doesn't feel good to you, find a number that feels good to you. 13 is a witch's number. It's my lucky number. I was born on Friday the 13th. I always use 13 for everything, but again, follow your intuition. And water is very susceptible to our energy and to our intention. So by repeating your springtime intentions into the water, you are infusing the water with your intentions. And so repeat that ritual as often as possible, just placing your hands over the water and repeating your intention. And when springtime comes, you can use this water to water the seeds that you plant. And if you don't physically plant any seeds, you can water a tree or grass or a house plant, or you can drink the water if you got it from a source that you can drink it from. And I would repeat your intention at least 3 times again while watering those seeds that plant that soil. Okay, and now our fire element. So Imbolc is a solar festival, and I believe there are 3 solar festivals on the Wheel of the Year, and Imbolc is the second one. And it acknowledges the light returning. It is our slow ascent into spring. It acknowledges the power of fire to purify as we pause and prepare our seeds. It acknowledges the importance of keeping our flames alive and our trust that we can make it through the end of the cold season connected to that flame. Fire is the sustenance that can keep us going during this time when we may be losing hope. And I urge you to connect to fire in any way you can. Light candles on your altar daily, perhaps even 2 or 3 times a day. This is, for example, one reason why I have my pillar candles lit right now, is connecting to this fire element, especially in the mornings, to stoke that fire, to get us connected, to keep going, to warm ourselves up as we are entering the day and continuing through this cold season into the warmth. And I like to do this as often as I possibly can. And you can even place your altar by a fireplace. You can decorate your altar in any symbols that keep you glowing and warm from inside out. Perhaps that's with warm colors, or just things that remind you of warmth, that remind you of spring, that remind you of that fire within you. Okay, and then our spirit element. So let your guides, ancestors, your intuition, or any other way you connect or feel connected speak through you, through your creativity. Imbolc is a time to start bringing the dreams we danced with and envisioned in winter into physical form. Winter is a time to shed and release and to start dreaming, and Imbolc is a time to start stepping towards those dreams. So create a physical representation of your intentions. Perhaps draw them or create a vision board, write a story or a letter or a manifesto to them, and just begin that embodiment process so that when spring comes, we're ready to step into them. Creating is also a way to stoke your fire and heighten that flame and connect to that fire element. And then place this creation on your altar to remind you of what you are walking towards every day as we inch closer to spring. So I love to create vision boards, and I also love to write a letter to my visions and write a letter to my intentions, to my dreams, sometimes to them, and also sometimes as if I'm already embodying them. So again, find what you feel called to. So that is our altar. I will set that up on Imbolc on February 1st and then leave it out until the spring equinox. And then we move on to our herbal companions. So these can be used during this ceremony and also throughout the Imbolc season. I have 3. First, we have rosemary. Rosemary really connects us to our ancestors and allows them to hear their messages. It also allows that cleansing and purifying, preparing process to really settle and move through our body. It can be used in a tea, tincture, cooking, incense, body oil. I really love using rosemary in tincture form and also as a body oil. I don't necessarily love the taste, so I don't always use it in my tea or in my cooking. But as a body oil, it feels really nourishing and cleansing for my skin. And then we have dandelion, and this also really continues the cleansing process and connects us to that sun energy and our vitality. And it can be used in a tea, tincture, cooking, or body oil. I love the taste of dandelion. I love how it feels in my body, so I often use it in tea. And then snowdrops. This flower has become a mascot for Imbolc. Often is one of the first signs of spring, used for purifying and cleansing. And I remember when I was in England doing my herbal apprenticeship, and when Imbolc was coming, my mentor gave me the assignment to find snowdrops and make a flower essence from them. And I did that and I loved it so much. It was still so cold, but I found the first snowdrops, the first signs of spring, and I made that flower essence. I remember I took pictures, and when I took pictures outside, it was on the snowy ground, and it was really this juxtaposition of spring coming and winter still here. And so you can use snowdrops in a flower essence and a tincture to decorate your altar. And I'm not sure where to find snowdrops where I live now, but I do intend to try to find some and to make a flower essence out of it. If you want some advice around how to make a flower essence, you can always contact me, or there are many, many instructions online. It's quite easy, actually. So if you're doing this in your ceremony, for example, you can have rosemary as your incense, dandelion in tea, and snowdrops on your altar. And that can be how you use it in this full ceremony. And then we move to our yoga therapy tools. So, breath. The art of breathing is a sacred practice that is both preparation, embodiment, and manifestation all at once. It is warming, cooling, regulating, activating. When you are present with it, it can be whatever you need it to be. When done quickly, this cleansing breath that I'm going to talk about can heat up your system and ignite your fire. And when done slowly, it can cool your body and ease your mind. So find a pace that suits you. Either way, it will help you ground and prepare by clearing away any stuck or stagnant energy. So we're going to start this practice by first tracking our normal breath. So just sitting down, getting comfortable, and breathing. And notice how your breath moves in and out of your lungs, your chest, your mouth, and nose. And when you are ready, on your next inhale, you're going to take 2 short, sharp inhales through your nose. And when you exhale, release fully out your mouth. And repeat for at least 1 to 3 minutes. So it'll sound something like this. Notice if you feel drawn to move fast or slow with these breaths, to push yourself or back off. Just observe, watch, pay attention to what feels natural, empowering, frightening, overwhelming, relaxing. Perhaps try different paces and energies and see what comes up for you before settling on the right one. There is no right or wrong. It's just about noticing what you feel drawn to and perhaps asking yourself why, and perhaps trying something different or trusting what your intuition is calling to you. Again, it's when are you just falling into what feels comfortable, what feels natural, or what feels versus pushing yourself to do what feels truly supportive for you. You know, we don't always, the first thing that we do isn't always what our intuition's actually telling us. It might just be what we are autopilot doing. You know what I mean? So try different paces at first to see what calls to you. And then stick with that for at least 1 to 3 minutes. When you are done, release the breath on your last exhale and come back to your natural breath. Notice how you feel and track what has changed and pay attention to what has arisen. And then we are going to move a little bit. So when you're done with your breath, notice if your body is craving movement or stillness. And notice the difference again between what you want and what you crave, what you need deep down. And listen to that knowing. Often, if we really want to stay still, it might be a sign that we need to move. Or if we need to move, if we feel that urge to move, perhaps it's a sign that we need to stay still. Or we're feeling called to do exactly what we need to do. Just pay attention, notice, listen. If you're craving stillness, sit in that, pause in that. Then move to stand in Tadasana, tree pose. Feel the power of the earth solidly beneath your feet. Notice how you move even when you are still. Be here. Stay in this stillness for as long as possible. And then do the practice that we're going to talk about as slowly as you desire. If you are craving movement, move to Tadasana and stand in tree pose for a few breaths, noticing what is moving within you. And then we're going to move into the movement. So whenever you're ready, whether you're craving the stillness of the movement, again, doing this as fast or as slow as you would like, bring your arms to your side with your hands in fists. And on your exhale, you're going to twist to the left, punching your right fist out to the left side. So you're standing in Tadasana. You have your hands at your side, your fingers and fists. You're going to twist your body to the left and punch your right arm straight out to the left side. Then you're going to bring your fists together on your heart center on your inhale. And on your next exhale, twist to the right, bringing your left fist all the way out beside you to your right side. And then inhale back to center. And then repeat at least 13 rounds. Again, 13 is my number. It's also a sacred number, but do whatever feels called for you. And you don't even have to count. You can set a timer on your phone, or you can just go for however long feels right for you. Again, move at the pace and intensity that feels intuitive to you. For both of these practices, the pace really does have the impact. It can bring up different energies and evoke different messages. So follow what feels right. When you are done, come back to stillness in Tadasana. Notice what has changed. Notice how you feel. Notice what is arising. And finish in stillness, either standing, seated, or in Shavasana. And when we are ready, moving from that, we're going to come into our reflection questions. So perhaps grab your journal and pen. I highly recommend writing these down, or you can just contemplate them, sit in meditation, read them over, and have them on your phone to bring with you throughout your day and kind of just like seep into your awareness as you go about your day. Or grab your voice notes, start recording some thoughts, call up a friend, talk it through, bring a friend into the ceremony, whatever feels right for you. So, reflection questions. How has this winter season felt for you? What have been the most prevalent emotions? What have been the themes? What have been the greatest lessons? How would you summarize this winter in one sentence, in 5 words, in 3 emojis? What surprised you? What excited you? What supported and soothed you? What rattled and shook you? What died? What was reborn, renewed, released? Who have you become? As always, I should say that this will be in Substack form as well. So these questions will be all written out. So you can either continue to re-listen to them, go back and replay that part And you can head to the Substack to have them all written out for you. So take your time with those reflections, really sit with them and let them reveal themselves to you. And then it's time for your intentions. So I know a lot of people wrote out their 2026 intentions over the new year, and the Gregorian calendar New Year was really that time when society tells us to write our intentions. But for me, this is the time I have been waiting for. For me, I believe this is the time to set our intentions. December was for processing and integrating and reflecting. January was for deepening, dreaming, and preparing. And now as we inch closer and closer to spring and February comes and the seasonal new year comes, the truth of our 2026 intentions may be finally landing. They've made their way in visions and fragments and dreams and clouds and misplaced words throughout the last few months, and finally they feel like they're clicking into place. The full picture is finally maybe being revealed. I am curious if that feels true to you too, because it does feel like to me the words, the intentions are finally landing into place. What intention is ripe and ready to be picked and owned and named for you? What seeds have landed in your lap? This is a time to name and claim and own the seeds that have arrived at your doorstep. To sit with them in meditation, to pray with them, get to know them, welcome them in for tea. And I don't just mean this metaphorically, I really mean sit down with your tea and welcome your intentions in. Soon we will be planting these seeds and watering them and growing them and tending and nourishing and feeding on them when the spring equinox comes. But for now, we hold out our hands and let them finally land. So what intentions have arrived at your doorstep? Take time to really journal about that, to really sit with that, to really see what's fully landed and see what is here. And then we come to the end of our ceremony. So I'll move through the directions and I will say, air to the east, please continue to guide me and walk with me on my path. I thank you for your messages. I'll move through all the different elements. I'll move through the above, the below, and the in between. And then I will say, the ceremony is now complete, but my connection stays open. Please continue to guide me forward on my path. I promise to devote myself to my intentions. And so it is, it is, it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Promise to return to your intentions. Devote yourself to the daily rituals that will help you reconnect and remember. And trust that the preparation process is underway. Trust that spring is almost here. Trust that we are getting through winter. Trust that your intentions are being prepared for and are coming your way as long as you devote yourself to them. And this ceremony helps us do that. These rituals help us embody that and really show us that we are ready for our intentions. We are ready for spring to come. I hope that this ceremony serves you so well. I hope you use it in whatever way suits you. Head to the Substack to get the full written ceremony out to bring with you into your ceremony. I would really love to hear what comes up for you around this, your reflections, your intentions, how you're feeling with Imbolc coming, how winter has been for you. And as for me, I am still in winter a little bit longer, but I am going to fully celebrate Imbolc and fully lean into the hope of spring coming. And I'm really excited to do this ceremony. So thank you guys all so much for being here, and I will see you next time for more magic.
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Intuitively Wild, the podcast. I hope it helped deepen your connection to yourself, sparked some insights, and inspired you to live intuitively wild. If you enjoyed this podcast, it would mean so much to me if you would share it with others and leave a rating and review. And please reach out to me. I would love to connect with you. I will see you next time for more magic.